As a trainer, one of the most common questions I get from students is, how can I increase my productivity? How can I increase my workflow? How can I do things better, faster? Well, there's a lot of things you can do to increase your workflow, but one of the easiest things you can do is to customize your Quick Access Toolbar. Now, the Quick Access Toolbar was introduced in Office 2007 when they did the whole ribbon revamp. It's located here in the upper left-hand corner. Now, by default, the Quick Access Toolbar doesn't have very many icons on it, only open and undo for most applications. And as a lot of you have probably already figured out, you can customize this Quick Access Toolbar by clicking this little down arrow to the right of the Quick Access Toolbar. I'm just going to call it the QAT from now on. So if I give that little down arrow a click, it's going to give me a list of the most popular types of things that people would want to add to the QAT. So think of it like a top 10 list. And as you can see here by the items that are checked, these are things that I have added to my QAT. Now, if I wanted to add another item like spelling and grammar, all I have to do is just give that a click, and now I have a spelling and grammar icon on my QAT. If it turns out a little bit later that I don't want that any longer, I can go back to this top 10 list, give spelling and grammar another click, and remove it. Now, there's a lot more that you can put up here besides what's on this top 10 list, and that's where the More Commands options comes into play. By going into More Commands, what you're given is kind of like a top 50 list. Now, this is still not everything, but it's a lot more options than you got from the previous top 10. So if you see what you're looking for here in this list, something like Open Recent File, then all you have to do is give that a click, hit the Add button in the middle, and that's going to be placed over here on the right side. Anything over here on the right is what's going to be placed up on the Quick Access Toolbar. I'll give that an OK, and now I am only one click away from getting to my list of most recently used files and folders. So in the old days, I would have to go up to File, then I would have to come down to Recent just to get to this. Well, now, no matter where I am, I can just come up here, one push of a button, and I'm exactly where I need to be. So I go up to my top 10 list, I go to More Commands, I get to my top 50 list, but if I want a feature that is not listed in this top 50 list, then I can come up to this drop down for Choose Commands From, and this is a list of every single ribbon and every single contextual ribbon that the program is ever going to offer you. So if I do a lot of work with pictures, and I'm constantly trying to change the way text wrapping conforms to the photograph, I can come down here to my Picture Tools, scroll all the way down to Wrap Text, add that to the right side, hit OK, and now I have a Wrap Text button. So I could click on my graphic, go up and hit my Wrap Text, and then I could just choose something like Tight. And now I've changed the way that text flows around that graphic. Well, what if Tight is the only option that you ever choose from this drop down? Well, it's 2 clicks to get to this. Well, we can make this a one-click event. So if I go back into my More Commands, I have the wrap text on the right. I'm going to click that and remove it from the list. But now I'm going to go up to the Choose Commands From, and look right here, Commands Not in the Ribbon. This is a list of a whole bunch of program features that, for the most part, are not listed anywhere in the program. So unless you came in here and added them to the QAT, you'd never even know they existed. So if I were to scroll down and I were to find Tight, I can add that to my Quick Access Toolbar, and now I have a button that's even more specific. So if I ever insert a graphic and I want to wrap that text around it, I am one single click away from engaging that feature. Instead of having to go up to Picture Tools, Wrap Text, Tight, I could just now come up and click Tight. I would recommend that whatever program you use, Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, take a couple minutes to go into this Commands Not in the Ribbon option and just look through the list of all of the different things that you can do in this program that you probably never knew you could do before. I mean, look at this. You can even launch other Office applications directly from within other Office applications. So if you find yourself wanting to launch Excel, a lot of times while you're still in Word, you can even add the Excel program to your Quick Access Toolbar. And then if I'm in Word, I can just come up here and give that Microsoft Excel a click, and I can start Excel directly within Word. Well, now that we know how to add these items, let me give you some shortcuts and some tips for organization. If you go into More Commands, over here on the right hand side, notice I have these little items called Separator. And what those allow me to do is to cluster these items together based on some sort of common function. No matter which menu you're in, the very top item is going to be separator. And what you can do is you can add as many separators as you want. Then you can position those separators strategically between icons. Now what that's going to do for you is it's going to give you this look right here where your icons are separated by these little dividers. So if you want to be able to visually go to a group of features more quickly, the separators are a nice little tip. Another thing that you can do while you're in this More Commands is you can arrange the order of any of these icons. By default, everything gets added to the end, but you'll probably add things that you'll want to be in the beginning or in the middle. So just by clicking on an item and then using these up and down buttons, you can shift the position of any item within the list. So things going up and down will translate to a left or right arrangement on the Quick Access Toolbar. Another tip is, if you're not exactly sure where a feature is located that you want to add to the QAT, instead of spending a lot of time scanning through all of these different tabs and lists and drop downs, if you know where the item is on the ribbon, so if I were to go over here to review and maybe adding comments is very important to me, I'm looking right at the button, why not just right click on it and say add to Quick Access Toolbar, and then it immediately goes right up there on the Quick Access Toolbar. Likewise, if you have a feature up here that you're not using any longer, if I don't use comments any longer, I can right click on that and I can remove it from the Quick Access Toolbar. So just by finding an item and right clicking on it, you can add anything you want to the QAT. In fact, here's like the ultimate tip. If I love all of these page setup controls, I don't want to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these buttons up on my QAT. What I can do is I can right click on the actual group name and say add to QAT, and now I've added the entire group of controls to my Quick Access Toolbar. So no matter where I am, in fact I don't even have to have my ribbon on the screen, I can use that space for data analysis. I can now go up and just click that button and I can immediately change orientation, paper size, margins, and I'll do that through one button. So there's the tip of the week. Go up to the down arrow next to the Quick Access Toolbar, More Commands, and happy hunting.